All right, guys, there she sits, the new Aztec XX. This is the 30 by 8.5 by 14. Finally got my hands on it. We'll be testing it out. Not testing it out, we'll be showcasing it at Savage Trails this weekend. Next week, I'll get a full set mounted up and I'll give you all the exact specs. This is gonna be like a rough spec video. I don't have all my tools out here. I'm on the road at an Airbnb. Sorry, a lot of cars driving by. But anyway, here's the tire. Let me show you how tall it is. This is unmounted height. We're at just over 29 inches tall, unmounted. So probably 29.6, 29.7 once we mount it up at 5 PSI, I'm guessing. Give you another height comparison. Here is one of our 32s unmounted. And you can see that the 30XX isn't much shorter than a 32 Aztec unmounted. Now this tire obviously is going to stretch more because it has less tread. So there's that. But I think it's going to be a fairly true to height tire. On the next size, the 32 and so on, we're actually having to make them a little taller. So hopefully the 32XX will be true to height or a little tall. Let me give you the width. So here's the actual knobby width. Wow, really close to 8.5 inches at the very top. So a lot of tires, they get real narrow up here. This has a nice wide flat 8.5 footprint, super sick. Tread wraps all the way to the sidewall, love it. All right, and the weight, that's the one thing you guys are gonna ask immediately. So I'm gonna give you that spec. I got to balance the tire. Balance sucker. So we're right about 42 pounds, 42.2. I'm going to call it 42.2 pounds on this scale. Might be off by, you know, a tenth of a pound or so. Super excited about it. Looks mean. We do a tread comparison real quick. So here's the XX versus the XL. So we got a similar tread shape. We got our same angles in there. We got the cup going forward at the edge, the paddle. And then obviously this tread had to get fatter because it's so tall, so we added some siping. But overall, tread still flexes good. Still feels similar to this tread. Might be feel a hair stiffer. This tire's not going to float because there's very little carcass because it's all knobby. Oh yeah, tread height. Of course, you guys are going to want to see that. So at the center of the tire, a little over 2.5. The middle of the tread, or exactly 2.5. And out here we get close to 3. So that should be all the rough measurements you guys need. I'll give you the exact measurements when I get home. Like I said, pretty mean tire. Not a lot of weight for that much tread. We got the carcass nice and thin all the way through. You don't need to cut this tire, but I'm sure someone will do it anyway.